Under the cover of night, Jacob found himself alone, preparing for a divine encounter that would change his life forever. With every muscle strained, his determination burned as he wrestled, not against a man, but against a mysterious spiritual presence. The night air was thick with tension as Jacob grappled through the hours, wrestling not just physically, but with his own fears and doubts. This was no ordinary fight. It was a sacred contest, a test of faith and endurance, where the divine met the human. Though exhausted and wounded, Jacob refused to let go, his spirit unyielding as he sought blessing over defeat. As dawn approached, a transformative light began to shine, illuminating a profound shift in Jacob's heart and soul. A touch left him marked, a reminder that struggles often leave lasting impressions that shape who we become. Stepping into the new day, Jacob walked with a new name, a new identity forged in the fires of spiritual wrestling. From this encounter came a blessing, an affirmation of God's presence and favor, even amid conflict and struggle. He had wrestled not just with a stranger, but with God himself, and emerged forever changed in faith and purpose. This night revealed a deep spiritual truth, that wrestling with God is less about winning and more about perseverance and relationship. Jacob's night of wrestling brought renewal, washing away old doubts and fears, replacing them with strength and clarity. In silent reflection, he understood that the struggle had been a journey inward, confronting his inner conflicts and growth. His eyes now held a new fire, a spark kindled by divine encounter and personal transformation. From that night forward, Jacob faced life's uncertainties with bravery, knowing he had endured and been shaped by divine purpose. He was no longer bound by past fears or weaknesses. This struggle had broken chains, freeing him to walk boldly. In prayer and solitude, Jacob embraced this new connection, understanding it as a lifelong covenant with God. The stars faded into dawn, marking the end of a night's wrestling and the beginning of a new spiritual journey. With every step forward, Jacob carried the lesson that struggle is not defeat, but a path to deeper faith and resilience. His grasp on life, on faith, now stronger than ever, reflecting a heart that would not let go of God's promise. Peace replaced uncertainty, and Jacob's spirit found rest in the embrace of a transformed relationship with God. Each sunrise became a reminder of victory not just overnight, but over all doubts that once held him back. He stood tall now, a man renewed, a symbol of perseverance and divine grace granted through struggle. Life's path remained uncertain, yet Jacob now walked it with courage born from his transformative encounter. His journey was not only for himself but became a legacy, inspiring others to wrestle through their own battles. Like a mighty tree rooted deep, Jacob's soul found strength that no storm could uproot or diminish. Hope was reborn that dawn, shining through trials, lighting his way forward brightly and surely. Just as water carves through stone, Jacob's persistence carved a new path in his heart and life. Faith became a glowing ember within him, small but steady, ready to ignite and illuminate his journey. Mountains no longer barriers, but markers of peace earned through enduring the night's wrestling. Under the stars, he reflected on lessons learned, the strength found in struggle and grace in surrender. Every step of that night was etched into his story, a journey mapping growth through pain and faith. He reached beyond his limits that night, grasping for God's promise with relentless hope and courage. The light on his face was more than dawn. It was the radiance of a spirit touched and changed forever. In peaceful solitude afterward, he knew the wrestling had become a source of strength, not weakness. Autumn leaves fell softly around him, mirroring the shedding of old fears and gaining new clarity. With open arms, Jacob accepted the transformation, ready to face the future with hope and renewed purpose. The wide-open field before him symbolized freedom gained through struggle, a fresh start forged in faith. By the water's edge, he found peace, the constant rhythm reminding him of God's steady presence. Change was like a gentle breeze, subtle but powerful, stirring new life within his soul and purpose. He connected with his heritage, feeling the strength of generations before him echoing in his veins. His aspirations reached higher now, inspired by the divine encounter that reshaped his dreams and goals. Wisdom grew in him like the roots of an ancient tree, deep, steady, and sustained by faith. Prayer became his anchor, a sacred moment of communication and trust where he found strength renewed. He walked roads both familiar and new, carrying lessons from that night as steady companions. The bridge he crossed was more than physical. It was a passage from old uncertainty to new faith and hope. Misty valleys held mysteries, but now he faced them with a heart confident in the promise of God's guidance. Confidence bloomed quietly in his smile, born from wrestling with and embracing the divine encounter. Like birds taking flight, he soared beyond his past, embracing the freedom brought by his spiritual struggle. Each morning brought new beginnings, his shadow a reminder of the continuous journey ahead, alive with purpose.